I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Today, folks, we're going to have an amazing show, and we want to say Happy Women's History Month. Today, folks, we're celebrating the females, the women, the
well,
feminine,
actually,
the
for the
muchachas.
entire month. For the entire month, we're celebrating the women and women in business and all of those lovely things.
We are celebrating our other half.
Yes, we are. We are.
We're celebrating the fairer sex.
So they say.
But in the meantime and in between time, co-hosts, I want to say, how are you doing today?
I am well. Last weekend I went to the BMP tennis tournament, and
Yeah, tell us about that. Let us know, how did it go, man? Because you spent some time down there.
Yeah, we left on Friday morning and got there, and we were there to Sunday. But the BNP is like our Open, like the New York Open and Wimbledon. But this is the West Coast tennis tournament where all the big guys come in. So Coco Golf was there, and Naomi, and I think Sloane. Well, no, Sloane Stevens didn't play, but all the big time tennis players were all down there. But our kids had a fantastic opportunity. They got to participate in a camp by the Bryan brothers, and the Bryan brothers are, their father, and their father was a coach, but they were all professional tennis players, twins actually. And so the kids got to participate in that, and they went to evening event, met Naomi Osaka, took pictures with her. One of them did anyway, not all of them. But
so they were in their glory to see the celebrities, huh?
They were, and as always, we had our box seats, and we had about 80, 90 people that we actually took.
That's great.
That was fun. We had a really good time.
See, I love that. I really respect and appreciate what you're doing with and for those kids, man, because even though it's a quiet work, no one really knows you're doing these things. Only, the kids are benefiting, and the parents and the organization, the Los Angeles Urban League and all others. It's amazing what you and Miss Rhonda are doing, man. You guys need to be recognized for this. And, co-host, if I need to recognize you guys, I will, because I see the value. I see the value. Not too many people bring value in this world. You see what I mean? You are bringing value to these young kids, working on building their work ethic, building integrity, learning how to work together, to collaborate, learning respect from their elders and from their peers. It's just amazing what you're doing, man.
Well, my philanthropy part of my business, which has been in place since I started it, has always been to give back to the kids in some capacity. So, early days is when I was skiing and teaching kids how to ski. And then as the latter days came along, the business program, Biz Camp and Biz Institute. And then, I sit on the board of the tennis program, which is what where I was. I was in that capacity. So I'm the CEO, CFO of that organization. So that's what we were doing. So the kids But again, it's all about the children are our future. And so
Yeah.
you have to give back to them, and you have to pass on what we have to them to make sure that they have a strong hold on what the future will hold for them. So that's why I do that.
And I'm not just saying smart just because this is Women's History Month co-host. You know that I sincerely feel this way about the work that you do, the way you've carried yourself in this industry, entrepreneurial wise, and also working with the kids and the tennis kids that you guys train. I just have a lot of respect for the work you do, man. So just keep it up,
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
want to give you your flowers today.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that. And sometimes it's so much easier to work with young people than it is with our old, with those of us that have hard time learning new things.
That's true.
Thank you,
That's
Zach.
true.
I appreciate
The,
that.
the kids haven't really developed those bad ideas yet and behaviors, so that's why they're more moldable and um, uh,
Definitely more malleable than
yeah,
adults. So
yes,
you got to convince adults. You don't have to convince children.
exactly. Because if they like it and it's making sense to them and they feel like they're being educated or valued, they're in it. They're in on
They're
it.
in it. They're in it 100%. And they're like little sponges, right? So you want to. I know I had when I was growing up, I had a number of mentors, and so it's just something that's a part of who I am and what I do. But no, but I enjoy giving back, and everybody can give back in whatever capacity, I guess.
Mhm.
I just choose the capacity that I think the net rewards are greater.
Yeah.
hmm That's all.
Yeah, man. I support you any day, anytime, man. I'll get in a foxhole with you. I got your back, telling
Well,
you,
I
man.
do appreciate that, co-host.
Yeah,
Thank you very, very much.
yeah,
So, what
man.
about
Yeah.
you? What was your week like? And I know we just kind of touched base briefly last week, but what was your week like?
Well, as you know, we just completed the cohort number 1 in our mentorship next level contract readiness mentorship program. So
Okay.
we had our graduation on February 10th at BMO Bank, and BMO was just beaming about our entrepreneurs, man. I love it. They were very respectful of them. They appreciate them. They had special sessions for them where they sat with them and open accounts with them and try to get them ready for lines of credits. And that's the kind of thing I want to keep pushing in this program, to let small businesses know once you take this mentorship program with Buchanan and Associates, you're going next level. And also, we're going to teach you, how to set up and maintain your back office, how to write a killer proposal, in response to RFPs and bids, and how to write the statement of qualification that will make contract providers pay attention to you, and a capability statement, and just to put together a killer elevator pitch and deliver it with confidence. So
Awesome.
those are the things, man. So real soon, co-host, you're going to see the video from the graduation, man. I'm so excited about it. I'm meeting with the videographer after the show to go over some final details that I want in the video. So once we get that done, man, woo-wee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is right, Patricia? You guys did a lot, and that's fantastic. So, looking forward to all the participants getting some contracts and just basically
And,
check their businesses and
and
going
wait, wait.
and going because it's all about that, right?
Yes, yes. Wait till you see our new landing page, man, for the cohort number 2. Woo-wee, co-host. It's gonna blow your
Okay.
socks off.
All righty.
I'm excited
Stepping
about
up
it,
the
man.
game a little bit,
Yeah,
becoming a
we
little
stepped up
digital.
our game. We stepped up our game, man. And you know what? One of the proteges in the program is helping me to develop this platform, man. So she's got some great skill, and that's what I do in this program. I want the proteges to work together, go after opportunities together, and if they can hire each other to work and help them build their business, that's what I want. So I try to set an example. So I hired one of the proteges in the mentorship program. So she's helping me with my website, man. She's doing some amazing things. So shout out to that.
Well, good. Awesome. I like
Oh
it. I
yeah.
like it. I like it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because going forward, we're in some interesting times right now. So
Yeah.
everyone has to really look at taking their businesses the next level
Yeah.
because of what's happening out there,
Yeah.
and finding what you need, and not putting your businesses in jeopardy. But a lot of times I think there are opportunities and grants and things out there. We just don't stay on top of that, and so I think that's something that needs to happen. I do know there are a number of grants out there for women right now. In fact, I
Yeah.
shared one yesterday with my with the community briefing. I'll have to find it so I can share it,
Yes.
as well as and in fact a friend of mine just sent me over a grant that is with the organization called Boundless Future Foundation. They're granting $10,000 to 10 US based women-led small businesses that generate growth for good. So here's the thing, ladies, this is that time of the year, it's Women's History Month, and yeah, there are other organizations and other monies that are not available to you. But this is a time where you really truly need to start searching out and staying tapped into your social media, because a lot of these things find their way on your LinkedIn accounts. So
Yes.
go over to LinkedIn. Expand your network. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Just
Yeah.
expand your network. It's so important.
And co-host, I want to shout out, man, my dedicated, my loyal supporters in the chat today, man. Miss Patricia Sinclair. Patricia Langford, I call her Sinclair because she just reminds me of one of those characters in the movie. You know those ostentatious women. Is like, well, I'm Patricia Sinclair. Don't you know who I am? So that's what that reminds me of, So, and then we got Miss Izette Smith, man. I got to give both of those ladies a lot of props, a lot of credit. They're on my graduation committee, and they're the ones who really helped me put this whole thing together. If there were no them, there wouldn't be a graduation. You hear me? Because they work 24 hours around the clock, man, to put these certificates together, to reach out to the proteges who are potential graduates, RSVP, doing all those things, man. I'm telling you, man. That's why we say on this show all the time, it takes a village. Now, we're not just saying it because it sounds like a good little phrase. We mean it. It takes a village, man, because in a village, each person plays a different role. And this is going to make a good segue into our topic today. Our topic is about women collaborating instead of competing against each other. I'll say it again. Women collaborating in the marketplace instead of competing against each other. That's our topic today. And my co-host is talking about a grant here from LA County. So I'm gonna hand over the microphone to her and let her speak a little bit about this grant, and maybe our listeners out there, especially our proteges in the chat could take advantage of some of these grants. So go ahead, co-host.
Everybody needs a little bit of money, right? So I'm pulling up a couple of them right now so I can talk on them because again, Gilbert and I'm not a proponent of loans unless you're able to generate revenue in order to support the loan. But just going to get a loan for the heck of a loan, thing that I encourage. I say if there's money out there that people are giving away, then by George, go out there and get the money. You just may have to do some writing and do some research in order to make it happen. But that's what I say. So there are a couple of, this is 2026 grants. So these are the real deal right now. So Los Angeles County has a grant. They're introducing the new phase of Small Business Mobility Fund to support the launch of small businesses. Nearly $500,000 in grants available to support 100 entrepreneurs and small businesses. So you want to go take that link right there and go over and read through everything and see where it applies for you. Because I'm always hearing people going, I need money, I can't do nothing because I don't have any money. Well, here's some money for you guys. Then the Women's Net, they have the Amber Grant for women. There's $50,000, and of course that is what are they doing? They're doing how to apply. So it's a grant and it's up to 50,000. Doesn't mean that you're going to get the 50,000, but it could be increments of 10,000 though. But you have to do this. The cutoff is March 31st for this particular grant. So you got to get in there like right away so that you can participate in these grants. It looks like FedEx Small Business Grant is out there, and that's probably for men and women. And let me see if I can find out more information about that one. Starts at 15,000, goes up to 50,000. And that one, the deadline is, let's see, April 1st. So it started March 1st and ends on April 1st. It is let me see, what is it? It's 50,000. Others receive 20 each. It's U.S. based for-profit small businesses. That is who is eligible. So that seems to cover a whole lot of people. So going out there, guys, and check it out. There's some others out there. I'll put them in the description of this show when it finishes broadcasting, and then you guys can go over there. But there are grants out there. So all I'm telling you is to go out there, but they do have deadlines. So you want to be able to jump in it. And once you do one, you pretty much are okay for the rest of them. Okay. All righty.
You know what I want to add to this real quickly, co-host? So all of the proteges who've been in my mentorship program, they should be able to apply for any of these grants because I have prepared them exceptionally well so that they can participate in these grants. Everything these grants are asking for, they have that information. We already outline a template for them. We provide them information. They've got background on their business. They understand methodologies. They understand technical expertise and technical experience, all of that stuff that's required for grants. So if any of my proteges cannot apply for these grants and win it, then I have failed. I have failed.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because I spent a lot of time going over back office, going over, qualifications, their SOQs, the proposals, because just so you know, a proposal is very similar to your grant application. A grant application is a proposal, but in a different form. It's from a nonprofit standpoint. but it's got some of the same information in there. They want to know about your team. They want to know about your personnel, your expertise, your past performance, the population that you're serving, and the area of need. In a grant, they need to know that you have developed a statement of need. If you don't know what a statement of need is, guys, statement of need. So here's what I'm going to give you some free game right now. We're not going to charge you for this information. This information you're getting is for free 99, okay? A statement of need is a statement that you develop to demonstrate how you are going to support or satisfy the need of the population that you serve. What do they need? What they need? Well, they may need training. They may need materials. They may need some type of services. They may need coaching, something like that. So if that's the need that they need, then you build around that. You build around that, and you build a statement that supports that, how you're going to support those needs. That's really what it is. Co-host, you have another grant here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 13 grants for women in business.
That grant right there is through Shopify. In fact, there's a list of 13 grants that is coming through Shopify. So for those of you that have product-based businesses, you can go through that and see which ones you qualify, as well as Verizon has offering grants for participants for their online courses. Gilbert, you probably should apply for this one. So that means, I don't think that's just women based, but it's Verizon Digital Ready. So if you are Access expert led online courses, so I'm going to put that one there as well. So guys, this is Chris. This is the Business Zone. Get it as you can get it day. So I've been to do this again for a while. So you want to grab it as I'm sending it out there and share it.
We are getting you guys ready and prepared to go after these opportunities, which you guys should be able to win, because we've taken you to the water. Now it's your turn to drink. Drink that stuff. Drink that information.
Time to drink. So there's a number of them. So there's the California Dream Fund, which is a $10,000 micro grant for businesses completing specific training focused on new entrepreneurs. Fast Break for small businesses, which provide $10,000 grant and $500 in legal Zoom services for businesses operating less than 3 months with under $1 million revenue. And those are the ones in this particular, and they're everywhere. So you guys just really need to go out there and do your research. Every city has a grant. Long Beach has some grants out there. BMO is celebrating women. They have a $10,000 grant out there.
Oh, that really now? No, BMO is one of the partners or strategic partners in this mentorship program. So many of our folks should be looking at that.
They should. So going out there, guys, and get that free money out there. Didn't I tell you, Gilbert, that there was going to be all of a sudden that the tables were going to turn and things were going, the guilt was going to start to really get at certain people.
They're going to realize they've been doing bad things, So now they're.
So when where there comes guilt, there comes money.
They're trying to shut us up. That's what they're trying to do. But guess what? You're trying to shut us up. We'll take your money, but we'll still keep talking.
Exactly. So anyway, guys, go ahead and grab that. That's my that there's so many of them out there. You just have to do some of the research yourself, but just to get you started and get you excited, please. But again, these deadlines are gonna be here sooner than you think. So March 13th, and if the end of the month is the deadline, then you want to jump on the no procrastination here. And as Gilbert said, those in his workshop should be able to, because if you are bank loan ready, if you are contract ready, you should be grant ready.
Exactly. Exactamente. Because everything we do is prepare them for that moment. You know?
Exactly. So with that, and this kind of leads into our show today, because I'm taking the lead and following and sharing by example. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today, as Gilbert just said, but before we do that, we want to do our little station break first, and then we can. All righty.
Yeah, we gotta tell our people how to get a hold of us.
So you guys, you're here on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We bring you weekly conversations on business and entrepreneurship and supplier diversity and contracting and opportunities. And we just ask you to subscribe so that you are able to get some of this insight, and it'll help us build our channel. At the same time, you will be building, growing, and thriving. And so go over to our YouTube channel, which is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. Hit that bell to subscribe to our channel to help us grow our channel. We really would appreciate it. And if you're already a follower of ours, tell all your friends where you go where are you every Friday at 3:00.
This is gonna be amazing, Coles. It's gonna be amazing.
And so you can hit this Q, and if you can't, you can't remember the Business Zone. I know sometimes memory is a thing. So,
that is for me.
Hit this QR code. I know I had a lady this morning. I was telling her I was in the nail shop, and I was telling her something. She goes, "I hope I remember that by the time I get out of this chair."
Oh man, I'm gonna have to develop a system for memory recall.
I know. So hit the subscribe button, guys, and go over to our YouTube channel and become part of our Business Zone family. We would appreciate it. Gilbert and I love what we do, if you guys haven't figured that out already. And so we like sharing with you. And in this capacity, it's affordable because it's free for you right now. But if you were to come to us for anything other outside of this show, it's going to cost you some money. So you better grab all these little nuggets that we're throwing out there, because other than that, it could cost you. All righty, Gilbert.
All right.
You want to say?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to make a statement here to all the people listening this show, all the people who stumbled across us for the first time, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday in these entrepreneurial streets from 3 to 4:30 every Friday, guys, without a miss. Now, if you want to be a guest on this show, you can notify us, and we'll put the email in the chat so you guys can reach out to us, or you can go to YouTube and find the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert and subscribe. And once you subscribe, you can go there and you can contact us and make sure that you are on the show. You request to be on the show. We'll definitely put you on, talk about your business with you. And so you can share insights into your business or products and services to the world so they'll know what you do. And because this is Women's History Month, the month of March, we're talking about how women can cross over that barrier and work together to make themselves successful. Remember, guys, and I'm not just bringing this up because of slavery and whatever, okay? I'm looking at the principle. Whenever we come across barriers, what do? We either knock them down or we step over them and continue our journey. So I want all of you entrepreneurs, female, males, young kids, everybody out there in entrepreneurial space, to be able to step over barriers and remove them out of your way. And don't let the man tell you what to do or how to do. Okay. So that's what we're doing. So here's something I want to say to you right there. What's the secret to women's success in business? Do you guys know that? Well, let me share a little something for you. Most of you probably know this, but for those who don't know, I want to say it. So the secret to women's success in business, it lies in the power of collaboration. And this exists over competition. I'll say it again. The secret to women's success in business lies in the power of collaboration over competition. And the reason you're collaborating is so you can get over that hurdle, get over those barriers, move them out of your way. All right. So rather than viewing one another, meaning one woman versus another woman entrepreneur, as rivals, successful women in business, they usually understand the value of building strong professional networks, sharing knowledge, and supporting each other's growth. I'm not just saying that just to say that. These things are tested and proven, guys. Okay? And as you know from my mentorship program, I've said this over and over and over. Contract providers are looking for small businesses that can work together. They can work in a team collectively on a project to bring collective value to contract providers. They don't want the standalone small business, a standalone woman-owned business. They want you guys to work together, because when you work together, each one of you bring a different flavor to the marketplace. Each one of you bring a different value to the marketplace, okay? So that's what we're covering here today, and we're talking about that growth. Now, I'm just going to say this and then leave it alone and let my co-host take it over. Now, by fostering an environment of mutual encouragement and open communication, women are able to leverage collective strengths. Now, you guys know that women work very well together. You know that. You got the sisterhood. We don't have a brotherhood, but you got the sisterhood. The women entrepreneurs, they agree on a lot of things, and they do a lot of things together. So continue on that trend, guys. Continue on that trend. Build that communication, build a leverage, collective strengths, access to new opportunity, and achieve shared goals are the way to go. Okay? So with that little tidbit of information that I'm putting out there, I'm just reminding you guys of stuff. You already know this. I'm just reminding you. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to my my wonderful co-host.
Okay. So, we all start, everybody has started a business the exact same way, right? You have this fantastic idea, and you want to get it to market. You feel that it's just wonderful or perfect just the way it is, and that everybody's going to be coming running to your door because they know this is the perfect product that they have been waiting for, right?
Yeah.
And then you get into the day-to-day, and I'm sure with my coaching practice, I cannot tell you how many women I speak to. They're like, I am so overwhelmed right now, right?
Yeah.
Because as a small business owner, we are wearing every hat, right? We are the janitor, we're the we're the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the TO, technical officer. We're the janitor, we're the administrative assistant. We have all of these hats on, and we're trying to run a successful business that is driving revenue, right? That's the key. But at the end of the day, we're exhausted. Why?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do it alone, right? And so the one thing that I know as a business person and been doing this entrepreneurial thing for a long time even, and I tell this to my people all the time, Gilbert. Everyone I know is a business coach. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone in my professional, pretty much if it's not my nonprofit world, but in my business world where I make money, everyone is a business coach, right?
Yes.
So you would think that we would be at each other trying to steal each other's businesses all the time, right? Because we're teaching
Right.
and training and working with the same people over and over again, but we're not, right? Because we have figured out how to collaborate with one another.
Yeah.
And that way, I can't, you're not me and I'm not you, right? You have your lane and I have my lane. And so one of the things that I found is we have to see where there's synergy and then how we complement each other and then how we can work together. I think that is the most efficient way to operate in business.
That is true. That is very true. And based on what we've done in the marketplace, because even though if a lot of folks, co-hosts, don't know that research have been done on these types of things, they have been done. And the research helps us to better understand the data as to why and how female entrepreneurs can really make it. As I've said on this platform over and over and over again, and you know the rules of marketing, you say something 7 times, at least some people will start retaining that information and remembering it. But you keep saying it and you keep saying it, then it starts resonating in their minds. Small women-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, they only get 4% of government contract. 4%. 4%. 1, 2, 3, 4%. Uno, dos, tres, 4%. Okay. That's all the female entrepreneurs get. And that's if they're lucky. When it comes to bank loans or lines of credit, they also receive only 4%. Now, when it comes to investments into their business, venture capitalists have provided funding for only 7% of female-owned businesses. Now you think about that. And I didn't really get the stats on how many women-owned businesses are here in California right now.
Oh, I can find out.
There you go.
While you're doing that part, I'll find out.
My co-host is looking at, because that's what we do here. We're on top of our game. We're on top of our data. We're on top of our numbers. So you figure 4% in contracts, 4% in loans, and 7% in venture capital dollars. That's not much for the women-owned businesses, even though over the last 5 years, 65% of new businesses entering the marketplace are women-owned businesses.
So tell me what you got just for a second. So California leads the nation with approximately 1.5 million women-owned businesses, representing somewhere between 40% to 44% of all businesses statewide. These are small.
Say it again, co-host. Say it again. 1.5
million women-owned businesses, which represent somewhere between 40% to 44%.
Wow.
And this is all ranges, enterprises of all ranges, Gilbert. Small, local to high growth startups, and contributing to significant income. So let me tell you something else, guys. So since 1997, there has been more than 59. That's around 59% growth in women-owned businesses in our state alone. 92% of those women-owned firms have fewer than 20 employees. And women's businesses are traditionally heavily concentrated in service businesses like hair and nail shops, pet care, laundry, professional, scientific, and technical services, healthcare.
Yeah.
Now, venture capital. So this is where you were going with this, right? California leads in venture capital deals for women women-owned business. Over 13,000 deals have been made. But if we look across the country, that's different. California happens to be the leader, but if we were to look across the United States on a whole, it's a different thing. So women here, we have so many more opportunities than any other state in the United States.
Mm-hmm. That is unbelievable. And part of the reason for that, co-host, is because we provide a variety of resources. We have a lot of technical assistance centers. We've got a lot of coaches like you and I providing technical support to women-owned businesses to really help them so they have that empowerment and reinforcement so they can go out and make risks. They take risk out there and do some of the types of things that they need to do as an entrepreneur. So we are there, man. We're there for you. And the stats that my co-host read to you guys today is pretty dismal. Because if you do your research, you will find out that there is about 3.6 to 4 million small businesses in the state of California. Okay, 3.6 to 4 million. And if only 1.5 million women-owned businesses exist, then what does that say, guys? What does that say? It's unbelievable. So we need to start getting that number up. And part of doing that is rolling out that red carpet, making things comfortable and palatable for female entrepreneurs. My co-hosts know that this has been my campaign for the last 15 to 20 years. I've been trying to even that scale where we get more women-owned businesses into government contracts, commercial contracts, certifications, and in the marketplace. That's been my goal. So I want you guys to get more aggressive on. I've got a lot of female-owned businesses in my program, my mentorship program. As a matter of fact, co-host, I was sharing this information in my class, right? So I was telling them that most of the classes that I've taught in mentorship, contract readiness, entrepreneurship, most of the participants are female, most of them. And when I say most, I'm talking anywhere from 57% to even 70%. You see what I'm saying?
I would say I coach more women than I do men.
Yes.
And I do coaching for a new number of organizations in the city. Yeah. And I would say when we put out the call, when we have our workshops and webinars and cohorts, a majority of the applicants are women, more so than men. So yeah, I would agree with that. But here's the thing. So some of the things is if let's just say that, right? You said that a little bit over 50% of your classes are women.
Yes. In this cohort, it was 57%.
57%. Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about today's show is about collaboration, right?
Yes.
And so all of the women, they tend to participate in more cohorts and classes and learning environments than I would say most men. A lot of men, not all, but a lot of men. So just think about just your participation in these groups. Yeah. If you're able to, you start building networks that you guys are learning. You have synergy because you're in a class together, right? And so you can start building your network right then and there, and that will help you start creating real wealth. Because I know in your class, Gilbert, there was some pretty high-powered women doing some amazing out of the box kind of things. I don't think in my classes, I rarely have. Every now and then, I have someone that has a hair salon.
Yeah.
No nail salons. Most of the people in my classes are either in nonprofit in the nonprofit world, or they're creating. I got staffing companies. I have a young lady right now that has a staffing company. She started it in America. She realized that she couldn't get much traction here, so she went to Toronto.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so she's staying there for 3 years. She got permission. She went through all the process to work there. And so yeah, last week I spoke to her, and she just secured a deal with Netflix.
Wow. That's
Start
amazing, co-host.
right for their legal department, and helping them hire legal staff. And
Mm-mm.
so we don't do things. She realized it wasn't working here, and so she had to move on in order to get to something, a place that really recognized what she was doing. And here in America, with them removing DEI and things of that nature, it was much more complicated to work here or to find opportunities here, especially with America putting this push on AI and thinking that they're going to eliminate all human beings from work. So she went to another country to work,
Right.
and so that's that out of the box thinking,
Yes.
and you can do that. And I even suggested to her, I said, just think about this. What if, since that was a phenomenal idea of doing that, what about other countries? There
Yes.
are many people that want to leave the United States and work somewhere else. And since you're a staffing agency that is in another country, then you can create a template, a franchise, so to speak, and then take that franchise and all over the world,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that changes. But building that network so you know that those individuals are out there. Now,
Yeah.
how does that happen? That means that there's got to be some mindset shift for
Yeah.
women. And going forward in 2026, we can't look at each other as a threat, because I'm going to do things differently than you are anyway. There is no
Yeah.
one way to do anything, but I am always open to suggestions on how I can work with other people and how I can enhance my business by collaborating with other people.
That is so true, co-host. So true. I mean, you and I have been singing the song for years. We just need to, well, we don't need to because we've been doing this, but more and more female entrepreneurs need to start paying attention to some of the things we're saying and trying to apply them. Because, we're here on the topic of expanding networks, okay? In
Yeah.
order to reach other borders, reach other areas of the marketplace that's been probably not explored by other female entrepreneurs. So the thing that we're trying to emphasize here, guys, is that joint ventures or co-hosted events, for instance, can introduce their businesses to new audiences, and that's what this client of yours did. She went to explore a different marketplace in Canada, and
Mhm.
that's been working for her. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Most other businesses may not even have thought of that, but that was
No,
an opportunity, for her.
not at all. Exactly. They wouldn't even go like, well, let me think about. And I think the opportunity presented itself to her, and she thought, she asked her husband, "What do you think about this, honey? Because that's a big deal. We're gonna
Yeah,
move to another country,
yeah,
and I'm gonna do business there." And then obviously he's got to figure out how that was gonna work with his world as well. But one of her clients, she was with one of her clients is Deloitte,
yeah.
and she kept pushing for the Deloitte she was in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't have anything here, but Deloitte Canada does. And most people would have went, Canada? No, I'm not doing that, right? Most people would have shoved that off. But she connected with some people and got some information and did her research. And she's like, works for me, right? So that's it. It's the mindset change, Gilbert, because most people are more willing to say no than they are to say, let me at least do my research and investigate whether or not that's doable or not. And she wasn't single, so it wasn't like she could make this decision on her own. She had to cover this with her husband.
And just a little secret that I want to put out there for a lot of the female entrepreneurs. Deloitte and Touche is an elite organization. They're very exclusive. They don't just bring anyone into their operation. And they were excited to have her as a part of their team helping them out. That's a great achievement right there. You see what I mean? Because you never know, at some point she might be able to reach back and pull up a few more female entrepreneurs into that organization doing some different things. And that's really what this is all about, guys. When it comes to success and entrepreneurship, guys, remember, when you take that elevator from the ground floor up to the 15th floor, you want to be able to send that elevator back down to pick up a few of your peers and others in the marketplace, bring them up with you. You don't want to be up there alone. You know, they say it's lonely at the top. Yes, it is. So you want to bring other people with you so you guys could build that network and start expanding. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for women-owned businesses, because there's a lot of reasons why women-owned businesses don't get a piece of the pie. You know, sometimes, and I've said this also in my mentorship class, sometimes a lot of their counterparts, male counterparts, may say, they don't have leadership skills. They don't honor contracts. We don't think they have the work ethic. So it's up to you guys to prove them wrong. You know, the reason I'm working with female-owned businesses over the years is to help female entrepreneurs understand that, hey, let's prove the marketplace wrong, because they seem to believe a certain thing about you guys. Let's show that many of these people don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're talking about. You see what I mean? So I want you guys to develop alternative approaches, just like this client of Crystal went to Canada and she went to a different marketplace and she did her thing, and that proved successful for her. So you guys can do that too, but make sure you have your network. Make sure you have your network, because contract providers are looking for small businesses with networks. So instead of hiring 10 small businesses individually, they can hire you in a cluster, in a group. One will provide, say, marketing, one may provide IT, the other one may provide some retail services, the other one may provide, you know, maybe catering or property management, whatever it is. You guys all come together and you provide that one approach. And I mentioned it earlier when I talked about putting teaming agreements together, right? You do joint ventures. Those things are key, guys. Joint ventureship and teaming agreement. If you guys do not know how to put the teaming agreement together or a joint venture agreement, talk to me. Talk to Coach Gilbert Buchanan. Remember this guy. I have a vault with all kinds of data and information, okay? I have all kinds of information in the business world that you need. So if you've never seen a teaming agreement or a joint venture agreement before, speak to me and I'll sit with you guys and I'll go over it, because putting together a team and agreement and forming a team is not an easy thing, but you just got to understand the rules of engagement and you'll be able to make it work for you. You see what I'm saying? So think about it. If you're getting ready to collaborate, even though you're not at the point where you may be collaborating yet, always do this ahead of time so you are ready, because we teach readiness on this program, on this platform, on this podcast. Readiness. So we'll show you how to be ready by putting together a teaming agreement, because you may get a call out of the blue, say tomorrow. Somebody may just call you and say, hey, let's say Pat Langford, I'd like to team up with you on this project. Mm-hmm. So, sure, no problem. Let's have a sit down. Let's discuss it further. So now you're discussing it. You're going to have a lot of questions about this teaming effort. Because you want to know, okay, what kind of project are you approaching? What are the requirements? What will my role be? What will your role be? How long have you been in business? When it comes to solvency, because these are things you're going to need to know. How solvent is your business? Do you owe anybody? Is there any liens against you? Because if those people have liens against them, that could very well become a hinder to you on this new project, because somebody may activate that lien as well. No, there are two of them. They're a teaming agreement. So if this one can't pay me, I want that one to pay me. So exactly. You see what I'm saying, Go-Host? So that's the kind of thing, guys, you want to look at. But, you're not going to just jump in blindly and team up with anyone. You're going to do a little research and find out. My co-host and I, we're partners on this show. We've done our research on each other over the years. She did her research. She found out I wasn't a convict. I wasn't a criminal. I didn't owe the IRS. I didn't owe the SBA or anything like that. So we were able to team. You see what? And I did the same thing. So that's how you guys want to start looking at it. But you want to prepare yourself before you commit. That's really what
exactly. And so I'm going to ask the women that are listening today, and the women that are here on our chat, what do you think are the six words that can change your business when you're in a room full of women or a room full of people that potentially you can do business with? What do you guys think those 6 words are?
Come on, guys, put it in the chat. Let us know. What are those 6 words? Is it money?
It can literally change your business. It is actually a growth strategy. And everyone's always looking to see, how do I grow my business? And this one is so simplistic that you learn how to do it in elementary school or on your sport team. It's 6 small words that can literally change your business. So those 6 words are, how can we win together?
Yeah.
Right? Walking up to someone, and I remember.
Please repeat it for them.
Right. So I remember going to and I'm going to change it here. Those 6 words, I'm going to put it over in this one right here. How can we win together? And I remember going to a networking group years ago. And they would bring in the guests and they do the little, whatever the presentation was, introduce the people that were there. And then at the end of the network hour or hour and a half, we would break up into groups, and the groups would be, they gave me a card, and on the card it was basically saying, it was a column for the people that were in the group with you. It was a column on what they did. And then the next question you asked them was, after everyone introduced themselves, was, how can I be of service to you?
That's
not you telling them about your business, but how can I be of service to you and your business?
that is amazing, co-host. That is amazing. Because now you're presenting an opportunity for them to look at the value that you bring to the table. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And
And then
then from there, you go, and how can we win together? So it's not about
Mhm.
me going to network just to gather names and business cards or digital cards as we do today. We actually attentively listen to what they're doing, what their businesses are, and then we come back and how can I be of service to you? And then how can we win together?
Wow. That is very profound. Are anyone in the chat responding to this thing yet? Are they responding yet? Come on, guys.
Nobody's responding, but it requires a so for me, as I've been in business over years, and I get this from everyone because one of the first things I did, as you know, Gilbert, in my business was I developed my network before I really needed my network, right?
Exactly.
And so everyone knows that I have a pretty massive network.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, and I still do, I have people that I've met, they come from all over the world going, hey, I got this new product, or I'm working with so and so and so. Can you introduce me to so and so and so? It happens at least for me in a month, I probably get those phone calls 3 to 4 times a month.
You know, co-host, I'm a testimony to that. Whenever I go to any event out there in the marketplace and I see my co-host there, and I'm trying to go over to say hi to my co-host, hey, I gotta take a number and wait because there's all kinds of people there. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? You know, they know Crystal from all walks of life, all different type of environments, and that's because one, she's got the Recycling Black Dollars program that she runs. She also has another podcast that's called the Community Briefing. That one provides a lot of information to the community. She has a lot of community officials who come on that program and they speak about different programs, what's happening in the community. And of course, you got the business zone here where we meet other businesses, we talk to them. And she coaches for so many different organizations. So she knows all these people. Sometimes, you know what they say to me, folks, when I'm in the marketplace? They say, oh, you are Crystal's co-host. You are a sidekick, huh? I said, yes, I'm the sidekick because they see her all the time, you know, and they hear about me, but they don't really know me that well, but they know her. So they say, oh, you are Crystal's co-host, huh? I said, yes, that's me. So if you guys can be in your network like that.
It's like a husband that has a very popular wife. Oh, you're Mr. So and so, right?
Oh, yeah. So I just lap my tail between my legs and say, oh, yeah, I'm her sidekick. How can I help you?
And then the other thing is you make yourself in your area of expertise or whatever your special superpower is, people begin to know that you're resourceful, right? And so then they start coming to you for all kinds of things. I have a client, and initially I was just there to do his bookkeeping. He calls me about everything, but when he found me, I was doing accounting service for a large church that wasn't too far for his church. And, and a call came through the switchboard, and they were and they just he asked for the bookkeeper. So when I answered the phone, I was like, "Hi, how can I help you?" I'm thinking it's like a bill collector or a vendor or something. And I said, what is your invoice number? He goes, no, I'm not a vendor. I'm not calling about that. I said, oh, well, how can I help you? And he says, I heard that they had this incredible bookkeeper. This incredible bookkeeper at this church, this person that did finances, and I wanted to know if you had enough time to include me into
To
your
introduce you to
client. I
her.
went, what?
That's hilarious, man.
Pat, you have a great weekend as well. And
Okay.
I went, huh? And so 20 years later, he's my client still. He calls me for everything. I'm just basically their consult. They don't do anything without me. If they get some erroneous, because they're an older couple, if they get some erroneous email asking for money, they'll call me. I don't care where I am. I can be all the way out of the country. They will hunt me down and say, hey, I got this email. What do you think about this? And then they'll send us like, no, don't do that. Oh, I'm so happy I called you. So every time they've asked me something, I've been able to deliver. So being resourceful is really good. And it is a reciprocity thing. So it's also, I get when I ask as well. But this is a humorous story. So, I was in Palm Springs this weekend, or Palm Desert.
Yeah.
And one of the parents, when I go down for this event, I always have a hotel, and I reserved a hotel, a motel, or whatever's available for me to lay my head, so I don't have to drive back to LA that night. I do that months in advance, and so I usually get a pretty good rate. So we have parents that come down and they're like, oh, I'm not going to stay the whole time. I'm going to go back go back means like you're leaving Palm Springs at 7 o'clock at night and they're exhausted. Well, we got a huge tennis tournament going on, and all of the hotels are booked. If you drive up to any hotel, we're booked. Or they want tremendous, like $1,000. So I'm sitting up here talking to one of the other parents, and I'm like way up at the top, kind of, and they're way down at the bottom. And they're like, Crystal. I was like, yes. So-and-so can't find a room. Can you help them? And so the parent next to me, she goes, do they think you know everything? And sure enough, I went on my little app that I use to travel, and I gave them like 6 different properties to check, and came back and said, we're going to be staying at Indio at the Super 8. Thank you so much. She goes, I guess you do know everything.
I love that, Cole. That's a great story right there, man. Kids, it's like they didn't know if you could, but they say, hey, why not ask her? She's a resource connector.
Right, exactly. She if she can't help me, she knows somebody that can help me. So, and that is the way it is. I could be walking in the market, and this is funny because since we started doing coaching and consulting during and webinars and so forth during the pandemic, we're never in person, right? We're always on Zoom.
Yeah.
So, and if for other organizations, they won't have it visual like this. They will have it as a webinar. And on Zoom, you can't see the people you're talking to. You're just talking to a blank wall and you're doing your thing, right? Yeah. I was in the store the other day and I was standing there. I was just come out the gym. So I just come back from water aerobics. I wasn't looking like this. I was looking like you just came out the water and your head had been under a swim cap all for an hour and a half. And this girl walked by me and she looked me in the eye. She goes, you're Crystal. And I'm like, yeah, I actually am. And she goes, I have been in several of your classes. I had to open my mouth. I was just standing there, and of course, I can't see who's on the other side, nor is you or anyone. And I said, I am. She goes, oh my God, are you still with Vermont Sausage? Well, they're they're doing some different things right now. I said, but you can reach out to me through one of my other organizations. She goes, I'm calling you. I have been trying to find your number and I couldn't find your number. I couldn't find that information. And there you are standing here in line. I said, well, thank you. And she goes, so I'll give you a call next week. She went her way, I went to my way.
But see, she remembered you from the voice, though, right?
I hadn't even said it. Well, I guess when it confirmed it when I said, yes, I am. And then she went into her part. So basically, ladies, what we're saying is you want to become, you don't have to become me, because that's just who I am. But you do want to be that person that they know that my question is, how can I help you? They already know that, right? And so then it comes up that how do we win together? So when I meet individuals, now most of my partners actually are men. Yeah. For whatever the reason is. But most of the partnerships that I have are male-based. With the exception of the business zone, I mean not the KIT youth program, Rhonda and I. But again, she was like that. She had something, and I had something, and she's like, "Well, how can we work together?" Right? And that's important. Is being able to identify where that synergy is. And Gilbert, I assume, like when I'm looking on Zoom and everyone introduces themselves. And then, and I know the other participants. I'm like, you two can work together, and you two can work together.
Exactly. That's what I do.
That as well.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. That's the first thing I do when I get together with a group and I hear one person introducing themselves or speaking about, the product or services that they offer. Then I listen to the other one. In there, I'm trying to see commonality and how I can connect them, man. So yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, and so and even though we're asking this of our clients, I'm also asking this of those of us that are coaches and consultants. Let's start bringing people together. Let's start helping people. Sometimes we see it, but when we're in that we're in the training mode, the teaching mode, to helping you become better business owners. So we definitely see it, but I need everyone to this is like we're going forward to a new way of thought, a new mindset. How can we win together? How can we come together? Not be in a competitive mode, because to be quite honest with you guys, you can't first of all, we all have our own special talents. We have our own special gifts. And we have our own special abilities or resources. So you can't compete with me anyway, right? And I'm not trying to compete with you because I don't know what you bring to the table. But I do know that we can bring stuff to the table together and create something magnificent. Gilbert and I have been we're going on our 10th year?
I don't know what, 12, 15 years. I think the business zone is 2016, but I think we started before that. Yeah. So it's probably 12 years or beyond, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of years.
So we've been working together, and we don't just do the community the business zone. We do workshops and stuff together, and I refer to Gilbert, and Gilbert refers to me. So we help each other. My other podcast, these are people, some of them I've known since back in my early 20s. We walked in this world together, but we never could figure out, we were still trying to figure out how we could work together. And all four of them, actually, the other three, I've known them for a very, very long time, but this is our very first time actually doing business together. And I tend to bring my friends in, other colleagues of mine, and they start doing business together. And that is the way we collaborate with one another. And the women.
The thing about it also, co-host, is, we're saying, how can we work together? And some people may not have an answer right away, And if they don't have an answer as to how we can work together, maybe we can make a suggestion to them. Perhaps we can work together this way, since we've got similarities in this area, that area, that area. Perhaps me bringing this value to what you already have, we can now provide a comprehensive, enhanced service to contract providers or whomever, client. You see what I'm saying? So we always want to be ready to, if they don't have the answer as to how can we work together, well, let's make a recommendation. Here's how I think we could work together. And that may start spurring some kind of knowledge from them.
Exactly, because it has to be intentional. I think that should have been our word of the year for 2026. Let's be intentional about everything that we do, so that we can make sure that we're going to be successful. And that is the secret of being successful in business. That's the key to being successful in life, period. Having someone, being able to work with someone that can help you grow, and being able to extend your network with their network and vice versa. But you do, there has to be reciprocity. We're not asking you for someone to just take advantage of you. We want you to develop a working together relationship that everyone is bringing something to the table.
I agree. I totally agree.
And so this homework for everyone, because that's what we do here, homework. So go over to your LinkedIn. That's probably the best place to go and see, first of all, how many friends and colleagues that that you actually are engaging with, and even know what you do for a living. Because sometimes our friends have no clue what we do for a living.
That's true.
And they never even ask, right?
Never ask.
Like, never ever ask. And I always find that interesting, especially when people are like in real estate and you're best friends with a real estate agent and you go find somebody else to be your agent. What the heck? Or your family member. What the heck is that?
That is crazy, man.
or you want a contract with the city of Los Angeles. They know Gilbert, but they go and ask somebody else. What?
Yeah, exactly. And that happens so many times, man. So many times. Then after the fact, after it's been awarded, oh man, you do that? I didn't even realize. I didn't realize you do that, man. Well, maybe next time.
So never dawned on you to ask me what I did for a living.
Exactly.
I've known you 35 years and it's never dawned on you. Okay. But basically, so for my ladies, and this applies to our men as well, but since this is Women's History Month, we want you guys to go out, and I really want you to adopt a new mindset and think about how I can win, how we can win together. How can I expand my network? How can we collaborate? We're not in competition. And I'm going to tell you, so the key, because now I get this all the time when you ask somebody to work with somebody, well, how they going to steal my idea? How do you handle that, Gilbert?
They're going to steal my idea. So that happens so many times. But, in this business world, we're always exposing our proprietary information and, that type of thing. So if it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, guys, you can do an NDA. It's a non-disclosure agreement. You can, if you don't know how to put one together, we recommend that, small businesses have some kind of legal resource that they can go to and ask them how to put together a non-disclosure agreement so they can get it done properly. And there's no loopholes that you guys can, fall into where it may not work into your best interest. So get that non-disclosure agreement And there are other agreements too that you can use, but the non-disclosure is the one where they cannot disclose your idea, your information. And if you want, you can put a 10-year time frame on that. Say for the next 10 years, you can't share my info, But the thing about that though is there are loopholes in that, wherein if Crystal has a proprietary service or product, she talks to me about it and show me how it works and all of that. Then I share that with my cousin or friend or brother or whomever, and that person takes it to the marketplace. Then now I've created a major violation because I violated the trust that she puts in me and said, hey, I'm sharing this with you and only you. But then I decide to take her proprietary information and go share it with somebody else. And it could be innocently that I did it. But that's going to come back to haunt me and haunt her as well.
Right.
So that's why, guys, you want to double check things, check it with your coaches, check with your mentor to make sure that you're not exposing yourself to the theft or any kind of liability or disrespect,
Exactly. And also MOUs, memorandums of understanding that outline exactly what your engagement rules of engagement are and what everybody's bringing to the table and what is expected of each other and the accountability position of that and the time frame that you're going to be doing this work together. And then finally is the partnership agreement. So you always want to have a solid partnership agreement in place that again outlines what is expected of everyone, how you're going to split the revenue or whatever that is. So we just don't leave things to chance and just come together and say, hey, we're going to work together and just we'll wing it as we go. No, there's no winging because that is what creates a destruction and the possibility, a loss of a relationship because we're not transparent. So transparency, honesty, and being clear
and
about everyone, integrity, honesty, and accountability. I think those are, if you go into any kind of contract or any kind of collaboration, you want to have that in place. That's so important. And you want to conduct yourself with the honesty and being transparent, right? It is so important and being able to have open communication to not get upset with each other, but to work through if you actually do encounter some problems or challenges, you want to be able to do that. So that's the key. And so that should not be a reason why you are stopped from doing what you need to do. And so Gilbert and we're going to close the show today with challenging you guys to go out and to identify throughout this month of March for Women's Business Month, who is it out there that we can work together, have a different conversation with the people that you encounter, even sometimes your clients, because there could be some synergy amongst your clients or in family members or what have you, that you guys could really build a real successful business relationship that can help with both of your, all of your growth strategies. So that's what we're going to ask you guys to do. Go out there and you can start with LinkedIn just so you can see who's out there. Even some of the people on your other social media platforms, if they're doing some incredible things and you can complement that or augment that, reach out and say, hey, can we have a coffee chat?
Yeah. And also, if you can find a phenomenal female entrepreneur out there in the marketplace that you admire, you respect, and you've observed their work over a period of time, and you think that their work ethic or whatever the value they bring to the marketplace and the world can assist to help you grow in somewhere, some way, shape, or form, then you may want to check that out too. May want to check.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So our word of the day is intentional. We're being intentional about growing our business, reaching our goals. We are in a whole different kind of world right now. And so right now it's going to require your full undivided attention. And you can't be coasting now. You got to
Right.
be intentional about what it is that you want in your business and how you want to generate revenue and what you want that business to do for you and your network or community or your family. So let's be intentional, guys. And so
Yeah.
that's basically our show today. And we want
Yeah.
to wish all the women out there a happy Women's History Month.
Mhm.
Go out there and be powerful, guys. Hey, Gilbert, is there a men's? Is that every other month? Men's History Month? Or do we need to start a Men's History Month?
I'm gonna have to research that, co-host, because I've never heard of one of those men history month.
Is that the other 11 months?
Yeah, it's probably other 11 months of the year, man. That's why they don't mention it. That's why they don't mention it, because they go, "Oh, this is our month."
Yeah, this is our month. Yeah, we don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of that, or even a male Black History Month, right? So I don't know. We might have to investigate that.
But you know, our co-host, what I want to do though, I think we can probably do it. I think we can do it now. I want us to announce Black Excellence every show we do. We announce the different level of Black excellence and innovation that's been created in this country since the beginning of time, to let people know some of the creation and innovation that we've created that's been swept under the carpet and no one even know about it. So,
Okay, you have anyone in mind? We can make that a part of the show.
Yes.
So who do you have in mind today?
The first thing I want to talk about here is there was a group of 25 Black men, a group of 25 Black men in the 1914. No, I'm sorry. It was 1967. Okay. Who created the ambulatory service called the EMS, right? Where when you get injured, or hurt on the street, or you're injured or at home, they will call. And when you call, at the time it wasn't 911, but you call that emergency service. Those 25 Black men, they created a service called EMS, right? But they never gave us credit for that because the system was so efficient. They are the first curriculum that was designed to help restore life and give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, that kind of stuff, to people who have fallen sick. Now, they were trained by this Caucasian doctor. I don't remember his name, but I'll bring his name to the forefront next week. But they were trained by him as to how to do the Heimlich maneuver and how to do chest compressions, so they don't break. Yeah, so they don't break ribs and all of that. Because otherwise, when people get sick, they have to go to the emergency room, and they sit there for a long time and wait. And if you were Black, then you would sit there and you die. So they would end up sending hearses to the Black community when someone called for an EMS, instead of sending an ambulance to take them to the doctors. So, I want to big up those 25 Black men who created that program. And in 1967, they did that. And then there was an act, I think it's called the Medical Emergency Act, that was passed by Congress, wherein they use their blueprint, that as a blueprint, the curriculum they developed as a blueprint. And these men were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where this started. So when that act was passed, the funding they received from Congress, the Caucasian hospitals and institutions, what they did, they phased out the black men who created that program, and they brought all white in. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, the whole purpose of them creating that EMS system is because black people were not being respected and taken to the hospital when they fell sick or anything like that. They would allow them to die and just take them to the morgue. You see what I'm saying? So,
wow.
so when the Emergency Medical Act was passed by Congress and they phased them out, now you don't have those black folks anymore. And that's why you start seeing a lot of. So I respect that program. And the reason I respect that program, because I know when I was attacked in July of last year, and I called 911 and they said, "Do you want an ambulance?" And I said, "Yes." These guys were here in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, to take me to the hospital. So that was developed based on those 25 black men wanting to make a change in the community because they weren't getting the respect. The black folks were not getting the respect they deserved when they fell sick. So I want to put that out there as an innovation. We first created an EMS system.
Okay, so that's the EMS system that all paramedics, or
all paramedics, yes,
all of them are actually using in order for emergency pickup.
Yes.
I
sent you the link in a text last week. I think it was like 6 or 7 days ago. I sent it to you. So check it out, man. It's an amazing thing. So I would like for us to talk about Black excellence every show we do here for the rest of the year, because there's more. There's so many more creations that's been out there that no one really knows about. You know.
All right, we will make that a segment at the end, and we'll research it and come up with one to add. I love bringing up where people that we had no idea, like last week we had the Calendarly, right? I didn't know it, nobody knew it.
Yes.
And so things like that. So
yes.
I love that, Gilbert. And then we're adding to our segment opportunities for people. So in this case, we have hey Greg, what about the light skin excellence? Yeah, you too, Greg. We'll find some of your brothers too.
The light skin Trinidadian excellence, right?
Right, exactly. So yes, we will do that. We will highlight ourselves and introduce people to Black excellence, and whatever that is. There could be a young person, it could be something that's the current, something that was then in the past, something that took place before we even got to this country. But
you know what I challenge them to do, co-host? I challenge them the year in which they were born. Figure out what Black excellence occurred during that year. That's what I have a cousin who was born in 1967. So I challenged him. I said, I want you to tell me what Black excellence occurred in 1967. He couldn't tell me. And then that's when I told him about these paramedics, this EMS system. And he'd go, what, really? In 1967? Wow.
You know,
I said, yes.
We jump up and down. And I was born and moving on into the 60s, man, there was a whole lot of Black excellence running around everywhere. A lot.
You know, the year in which you were born, co-host, that's when a Black, and this is like extra data I'm providing now. So that's when a Black chemist named Percy Julian created the birth control. Okay, really? A black chemist named Percy Julian created the birth control 1958. You check it out.
Okay, I'll check that out, and I'll be doing some research on this, and we'll have some additions here for every week. Well, guys, if this is your first time hearing the Business Zone, we thank you for listening. If you're not here with us live and you're actually catching us on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever you're going to catch us, but pretty much YouTube at this time, we're going to ask you to go over and hit the subscribe button. But we want you to know we do this every single week. And even if we're not here, the show is here because we might run a run. And we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about supply diversity, we talk about men and women excellence.
Yeah.
We talk real talk, no fluff.
Yeah.
It is who we are. And that's how we do. This is our get up and get down vibe.
and next week we'll talk about the light skin excellence.
That's right, exactly. That's what we're gonna do for you next week, Greg. So you better come. And so we're gonna ask you to go over and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Hit the bell if you liked it. Also, add a comment. And please, by all means, if you are a business and you're looking for funding, I have put in the chat, and it's in the chat on YouTube that there are multiple grants out there, minimum $10,000, but up to $50,000, which could be beneficial to all of you. So what we want you guys to do is to go out there, be safe, because it is kind of crazy, and you want to be very aware of your surroundings. But we want you to go out and be powerful. Don't be afraid. Be powerful.
And co-host, do you want to put your email address here in the chat so they can reach you?
Yes, and here's my information as well, and you guys can reach either myself or Gilbert. And here's our email, and you can also go over to our Facebook page. You can go to our website, which is the Business Zone, and we will respond. And of course, YouTube, and we will respond to you. Just give a shout, man. Somebody will know that you're asking about us, and they'll help you find us.
That's right.
So guys, we want you to come back next week. But again, we are better together than we are alone. We're
That's
not
true.
in competition. It's all about collaboration. And so
That's
with that,
true.
Gilbert, we're going to say so long, everyone.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a business